Okay, welcome back, everybody. A little bit late start today. 11:11. That's a good time to start. I did that, on purpose. It's going to be a good day. Welcome back. Hope everybody's doing well. It is Friday. I can't see anything. Why is my glasses cleaner never? Where my glasses always are. Might be time to buy more. I guess I have all the good ones. Doesn't matter. As soon as I have my glasses back on, I will read whoever is talking in chat. Oliver, welcome in. Douglas, welcome in as well. Yeah, I think somebody, you're green because somebody gifted you a membership. So you have membership privileges for a little while. Hope everybody had a good week. Black Feline, welcome in. Got to warm up with a rugby sketch first. And then we'll start drawing some cool stuff. How are you today? You know what? I haven't drawn a creepy tall rugby yet. Let's draw a tall rugby. Or were you saying that your week was weird? Why is there a delay before I can see chat? I don't know. That is very weird. I think it was Bry. I think Bry was the one that gave a bunch of... It might have been. I'm not sure. I hope the dice gods land on my drawings. Suggestions this time unpredictable. Yep. We always have way more than I can draw in a stream, so that's why we do the dice. Let the dice gods decide. Haven't been here for a while. I've prepared some rather important exams, and now I'm doing exams. Nice. Congrats. The real question is, why isn't chat showing up on stream? Let's see if we can fix that. See if that works. Huh. For some reason the YouTube chat is not popping up on OBS. YouTube, did you change stuff again? Did you check the photo of your background? I did. Yeah. I did indeed. Let's see if this does anything. How about now? Maybe that'll work. Ew, sweet pickles. I despise sweet pickles. I'll eat them. I'll eat them, but I love me a good like dill pickle. I shouldn't say despise. I just much prefer. Why are all of my settings broken? What's happening here? Display settings. How do you interface? There we go. Presumably pickles? Is it just you this time? Drew jumped into the drawing, but he's not here, so he can take his time. But it might just be me today. Who knows? Personally, I hate pickles. It happens. There are pickles in brine. Well, brine defines a pickle. So it's whether or not it's salty, sweet, Hot. You have hot pickles. Yeah. I'm assuming it's probably a fermented pickle because sweet pickles are kind of, I think, a southern thing. But I'm not sure about that. All right, let's draw this. Let's get warmed up. Let's get warmed up. We got a lot of stuff to draw today, so I'm going to try to draw. Draw me a tall rugby, and then we're going to get into some drawings. How did everybody's week go? I took Wednesday off, which was needed, but it was nice. Tastes mostly like salt and pickle. Probably just a regular sweet pickle, or a regular pickle then. Sweet pickles are distinctly very sweet. Does Rugby play rugby? He can. I think I've been asked to draw rugby in a rugby uniform before, but that's fan art, and I don't draw fan art. It's been a while. How's it going? It's going pretty good, Dr. Random. Sai, welcome in. Dragon Turtle, thank you. I've run into another literary snag. I tried to listen to 2000 Leagues Under the Sea this week. That book is boring. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to read.
Hello.
Howdy. Welcome in. Like, I've gotten through some boring books, but I can only hear about the French Canadian guy threatening to stab somebody so many times before it's just like, I don't care about any of these characters, and nothing they're talking about is interesting. So, yeah. Don't know if I'm gonna make it through it. I'm gonna try. I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
I feel the same way about Moby Dick.
Yeah, I couldn't get. I think I got like 3 chapters into Moby Dick, and I fell asleep every single time.
Yep. Same.
Rugby looks like a puppet. He is kind of a puppet. He's kind of a puppet. Is it a goblin puppet? He's a goblin wearing a puppet, I should say. The real question is, are cosplayers all puppets? When does a puppet become a costume?
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Your brother's been reading The Wheel of Time. That one... That I don't think is boring, but it has other literary problems. Man, my voice is shot today.
Same. It's starting to get hot here, so all the pollen's like, hey, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Trees are just like, she's everywhere.
I just played Mansions of Madness for 5 hours yesterday.
Gotcha.
So, sorry for all the squeaks coming from me, everybody.
Pretty long, 15 books. I wonder how long the Dresden books are. They feel long to me, but I've also read them several times, so they can't be that long.
Yeah. They're smaller books. They're definitely what I call potato chip books.
Sure. 7 by 9 inches. Damn it, Google. You did answer my question.
Here, I've got one. I'll go check.
Page count. I asked the wrong question. 8,928 pages. Oh, that's the complete series. Okay.
Okay, Blood Rights. number 5 in the series is 384 pages long. And they all are about that thick, so probably somewhere between 350 and
It's 17.
400
Yeah,
pages each.
17 novels of about 400 pages each.
Yeah. The Wheel of Time is more substantial,
Sure.
for sure.
I like the
I
Dresden
found,
books.
yeah. I also like the Dresden books. I found the Wheel of Time. I've read them all. I found them pretty difficult. Well, some of them are pretty difficult to get through, because for the most part they're pretty good. But every once in a while, the author before Brandon Sanderson took over when the author died, the author kind of he tended to introduce more plot points than he managed to resolve.
Gotcha.
So there are 4 or 5 books in there where he just kind of loses the plot.
I felt that way with Game of Thrones too.
Yeah,
Um,
it's hard writing when you have 7 main characters.
yeah, exactly. Can we talk about how criminally underrated the Gravathird wizard is? I think it's more powerful than people give it credit for. Tell me why, because I don't find it underrated. I just don't find it all that amazing. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty
I feel,
average.
I
Pretty
feel like
mid.
there aren't enough spells to give it as
Yeah.
much utility as other types of wizards have, and like conceptually it's really cool, and some of the spells that they do have are really powerful, but like I don't know, it feels situational to me, which in my mind automatically puts it in the same vein as a ranger, which is potentially really powerful, but only if your GM cares enough to let you use your kit. What am I gonna draw? Oh,
Bum, bum, bum. I did just say something was really mid. I'm kind of okay with that. I think it's the first time I've ever used that properly. The goblin, so like, is hide a fleshy and shelving true form? What? I think puppet requires a voice to come from not within the structure. Yeah, but like Big Bird, is Big Bird a puppet or a costume?
is a fursuit a costume, or is that puppetry?
Because it's got animatronic face, right?
Yeah.
I've been working my way through the Discworld books. I bought the first one, and I keep falling asleep during like the second chapter.
No.
I've listened to I can basically almost recite the first chapter, like the introduction, like verbatim, and then I can't get through the first chapter because the character's just so weird. It's really funny. Like I love Terry Pratchett, but like it's like the epitome of what if you just tried to make every single thing in your book not relatable. It's like what is happening. That being said, it's set up like a D&D campaign, which is really cool. Like the world is just built that way, and I like that. So I'm gonna keep trying to get through it, but I keep losing steam. I got a couple chapters in at one point, and then I realized that I hadn't like absorbed any of it. It's like, why is this guy talking about insurance? I'm very confused, so I'm gonna have to go back. Being controlled and acted upon as if it were the character talking. Yeah, I still think that counts as a costume. Puppets are just costumes for your hands. That's all I'm saying.
Don't disagree, but also I'm not sure if I 100% agree.
I mean, a tuxedo is a costume, but not a puppet, right? So there's definitely a distinction.
Yeah. I would argue that all clothing that is not personal protective equipment is costume.
Have you seen your art improve lately? I think so. Yeah, especially my daily sketches. I'm getting really happy with those. But part of that's just like being comfortable with the medium.
Yeah. I for sure have, but I've been like struggling to change something about my style for a really long time, or I suppose develop a second style. Because I still draw the way I always have. But yeah, I've been learning digital painting, so
Take the second level ability.
Mimicking oil.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's
No,
tough.
yeah, that's
Mimicking oil digital is tough. Take the second level ability you can. Taking the second level ability, I assume there's supposed to be a comma there. You can give a barbarian a 10-foot speed boost, and since they negate the disadvantage due to the rage, it's more of a plus. Does it just give people like mini haste? Is that what it is?
It's kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah. Because I thought you could speed people up and slow people down was like the big thing, but I don't know why it would give you disadvantage for being faster. Unless you get disadvantage after it wears off. That might be why. All PE is specialized armor. That's true. That's true, Oliver. It is. And to be a puppet, something must be controlling it.
Yeah, which is why mascots and...
I think, okay. So here's my argument. If you control your clothes beyond your normal movement while wearing it, it's a puppet. That's what I'm going to say. So if your clothes has any extra bits and bobs that you have to control manually, it's a puppet. Clowns are puppets because they have the squeaky nose. Did my suggestion make the list? I don't know, Legend. I delete the names, so I hope so. We got it in before today. Otherwise, probably not on there. The gravity provides advantage. Can help the grappling monks build a lot. Provides advantage. Can help the grappling monks build a lot, and they don't care about the decreased movement. Man, I'm gonna have to look up the gravity because like none of that sounds familiar. Yeah. I don't remember them giving people advantage, so they might have updated it. Is this in the Tal'Dorei guide, or is this in the D&D stuff now? I like Mansion of Madness and the Arkham Horror File series as a whole. I'm waiting for my new Welcome to Arkham book to come. Nice. I feel that puppets have to have emotions, though. I mean, do people not have emotions? Does it make heavy equipment a puppet? I don't know, maybe. Okay, so it's got to be non-inanimate. It's got to be non-inanimate. That's what we're saying. Okay, yeah, Legend, it is on there. It's just...
Well, I remember being a kid having, like, Tonka toy trucks and, like, diggers and stuff, and moving them and pretending they had feelings, a la cars.
That could be a puppet. Yeah, that's interesting. I think so. So Rugby is wearing an inanimate object as a costume, right?
Yeah.
So I guess Rugby is not a puppet per se, but he also is, because you could use that as a puppet, except he's controlling it with his face. So is Rugby the Rugby, or is the puppet the Rugby? Maybe that's the distinction. Who are you talking to? Are you talking to the dummy or the ventriloquist? Maybe that's a better way to look at it. Okay. How small is Rugby? He's a small creature. He's like 2-3 feet tall. Is he like 3 feet tall? Well, no, because there's a larger goblin that would be 3 or 4 feet tall. And he's smaller than that, so he's got to be like 2 feet tall. Yeah. I'm going to roll some dice. Here we go. 18. A male tiefling cryomancer. Hexblade with an onyx antelope horns. With a hooked rapier. That's pretty cool. I like that. We're going to start with blue. I think that sounds appropriate. For a cryomancer. What color dice are you using for your design? Green? I have a green one today. Let me set up the poll here. What is this music? Bah. Okay. Onyx is such a common ore. And it's just lava, right?
Onyx or obsidian?
Oh yeah. What's the difference?
Onyx is a type of rock.
Onyx is black and smoky. Obsidian is
Yeah.
just black and glass. Yeah, I don't know where obsidian comes from. I assume it's from pyroclastic flow, but maybe not. I'm from the Pacific Northwest where everything's granite.
Yep.
It's just granite and dirt.
Let's see. Wikipedia says onyx is a parallel banded variety of chalcedony, a silicate mineral.
Okay.
Agate and onyx are both varieties of layered chalcedony. So it's pure black agate, basically.
Got it. Ooh, they said antelope horns. What do antelope horns look like? I think they're straight.
It depends on the variety of antelope, honestly.
Well, they didn't give me a variety, so I assume they want... Apparently there's a flower called antelope horns. That's not helpful. Spirally. Kind of spirally. Got it. RGB in the digital sense is completely overrated. How though? I thought lava was red. It is until it cools and then it becomes black.
So obsidian happens when really high silicate lava flows cool rapidly. And that's why it is just volcanic glass. If it cools more slowly, it can develop like crystallize or develop inclusions and can become a different kind of rock.
So the other thing about color, lava being red, is it's actually based on the temperature, not the composition.
Yep. Exactly.
Lava can be all kinds of things.
And agates are, I think flint is a type of agate. So agates are also high silicate minerals. But they usually have, I believe they cool more slowly. They are still glassy. And their color is determined by the type of
Inclusions,
metallic
right?
impurities.
Yeah.
Yeah. So red agates tend to have,
I guess inclusions was the wrong word. You were right.
yeah, iron, I think, usually. Although, like, it also does depend on how much oxygen is available. Because iron can go, in terms of glass, iron can go red, green, blue, black, or yellow, depending on what else is in there. Yellow usually requires the presence of a fair amount of calcium. Blue and green is low oxygen. Red and black are high oxygen. Ooh, baby.
Angry baby. Cryomancer with a hook sword, eh? Kind of close, should I? I need to find a way, like, I need like a wheel of clothes choices or something.
Man, embrace the nudist. I have had to spend a fair amount of time looking at armors.
Mm-hmm.
Just because when I started drawing with you, I really hadn't thought about armor structurally much.
Yeah.
But like I still only have I think two basic armor designs in my head, and then I just like pick little variations in them.
I had a lot of people ask me like, "Oh, how do you draw armor?" And I made a video kind of talking about it, but really the trick is to just look it up. Like, find a lot because
Yeah.
all armor sets are made different. Like, they're all handmade mostly, unless there's like
Yeah.
a very specific set of armor. So, really, what you want to do is just look at a whole bunch of different suits and see which ones you like the most. I just watched Shogun, so I'm going to probably have a lot of feudal Japan costumes in my head.
Nice. That's an aesthetic.
Mm-hmm. Elliot, welcome in. Pretty close to 400. Oh, you know what? I forgot to change the episode number. Thank you for. I changed the title and I just realized I'm like, I forget something. We're really close to 400. We've been doing this for a while. It's also not May 3rd. May 10th. May 10th. There we go. That's it. I have no idea what Rococo fashion is.
Off the top of my head, I don't either.
Trimming sounds fun, Oliver.
Okay, Rococo is the era of like French fashion where they had the huge crinoline skirts, like skirts so wide women couldn't walk through doors straight. They had to turn sideways.
Gotcha. We were talking about this last week and it became like an argument. But
yeah.
So I'm loath to bring this up, but normal people didn't wear that shit, did they?
No.
Okay.
No.
That was very much like Met Gala bullshit.
Yeah, that was the highest level of aristocracy, and you usually only wore stuff like that when you were going to a formal court event.
Okay.
Basically. At least that's my understanding. So Marie Antoinette probably wore it every day, but almost nobody else did.
Gotcha.
For sure, the peasantry did not dress that way.
I think that hurts me as a DM. The fact that I am not interested in that kind of stuff. Like I don't think I've ever sent my players to a ball before. I've sent them to like prisons and jails and back alley dealings. Like, yeah, one of them was a underground fight club auction. But I don't think I've ever sent them to a ball. I don't think I've ever sent them to a ball.
I don't care much for Rococo either. Although I suppose I could probably manage to GM a ball for a either Tudor kind of.
I almost made a YouTube video or short about this yesterday with what you're talking about. Specifically, like I have a secret distaste for accents.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason that I have it is because I don't like blending our world into the fantasy world. Because like someone having a Scottish accent doesn't make any sense because they're not speaking Scottish. They're not speaking English. Like, so
Yeah.
So the real question is, and the thing that I was thinking about when I was thinking about this is like, what are the different common dialects? And so like I can still see definitely using something that people would know, like a Scottish accent, as a dialect. Like it's a dwarven dialect. Cool. Like so that can kind of shut me up, right? Like I should be okay with it. But yeah, that was hurting my brain a little bit because it's like we're not even speaking English. Why do we have English accents? But I think it's just generality and people being close to what they know. But
Yeah.
it would be interesting to find like common. What would create that common variant, right? So that's the thing I was thinking about, like common Creole or like, oh, they have an elven drawl. It's like that's cool. I like that. I want to see what that sounds like. I'd be way more interested in that than like learning about that than actually like people just picking accents.
Yeah.
But that would require people learning another language, a fantasy language, and then dissecting it, which I'm sure some people might have done. You could probably do that with Tolkien Elven.
Yeah, probably.
Because that's an
I think I remember. It was Fantasy High. Okay, so
did they do this?
They didn't quite do it, but like they did something that could let you infer an Elven accent. And it was basically when Brennan was pretending like some elves were like snooty high elves were off talking in their own dialect, and he was just like rolling S and TH sounds off of his tongue to make fun of Tolkien Elvish.
That's right.
Yeah, and like so I guess then if you're using that as a base, then you could just say that an Elvish accent
is a lisp.
Yeah, it is a lisp.
That's pretty funny.
I guess
translate for ease of playing. That's I thought of another weird one. So in the same vein, nobody in Star Trek speaks more than one language, generally, right?
Yeah.
Uhuru is special because she could understand a lot of languages, but they have a universal translator that does it. So why does anybody still have an accent if the translator is translating? Which is kind of a weird, like, they just hand wave it away anyways.
Yeah.
For the most part, but yeah. Like, I like that. I like it when Klingon players have Klingon accents. I think that's cool. Not players, but like characters.
Yeah.
I'm trying to draw the hook sword here, and it's kind of hooking me up. No pun intended. Just like catching me here. How do you sheath a hook sword? Is it just like in a loop? Like maybe like a clip?
I don't know. I've never thought about it, and I've never seen a real hook sword like that IRL. But scabbards for a lot of not straight blades tend to look kind of wonky.
Looks like you just wrap them. Just wrap them up. You don't actually wear them.
I always thought chakram were kind of like the funniest.
Yeah.
Because like there's literally no way to scabbard them, so there's all of these mostly drawings, but of I think, is it Sikhs who came up with the chakram?
Oh, I don't know. I just only ever think of Xena.
Oh, no. I think it's Sikhs. Correct me on that if I'm wrong, chat. But like, it's definitely a culture that has turbans, so they usually just have like a whole bunch of different rings of chakram just stacked on their turbans.
I think I have seen something like that. Just wear like a headband, kind of, or a hat band.
Pretty much, yeah.
I love the lizard creature voice because it's easy to imagine if they speak different than us. That's fair. Yeah, I like inflections. I think maybe that's... But there's a difference. There's a difference between an accent and an inflection, I think.
Yeah. And I do still love squeaky goblins and kobolds and gnomes.
Right? That is really funny. I just get really cringy and icky around accents for some reason. I don't know why. It hurts my soul. Jump Rope says it's because I hate fun, which could be the case. Like, I can't dispute that.
You don't hate all fun, just certain times of fun other people like to have.
I don't like other people having fun. They were invented by the Tamil? Tamil?
The Tamil.
Tamil? Okay.
I think. Which is they're a race of people in India.
Gotcha. Like mid to late Victorian fashion, they tend to be more luminous than their late Victorian. Yeah. I had no idea.
Well, yeah, that's because the late Victorian is all black all the time.
Gothic.
And no fun.
It's all about the pants. The pants really like sell me on a costume. Did the people have comfortable pants? If not, fuck it. Like, I'm not.
All I know is that the modern era is the only era in history in which women were not allowed to have pockets.
I mean, I was gonna make a really bad joke. I think it's a valid joke. It's just I don't need to be making it. I was gonna say something to the effect of like, I mean, the joke is that like that's how people can still oppress women today. But I was gonna format it in a way like it was my opinion, and I don't think that was appropriate because it's not my opinion. You can't give them the right to vote and pockets. What are you doing?
Yeah, women, choose one.
Slippery slope. I have some friends that do make those kind of jokes all the time, and sometimes it's like I can't tell if you're serious or not. I think that was a bad joke. Like, just you gotta call people out when they say shit like that. It's like,
yeah,
you're my friend and I love you. Don't say that shit.
It's not cool.
Yeah.
I still feel a little bit scummy because last night I accidentally kind of like, in Mansions of Madness, I accidentally like played a little bit of a misogynist trope, and then took the joke probably a little bit too far. And thankfully there weren't any women at my table. There usually are, but like there weren't tonight. So
you took that opportunity to be misogynistic as possible.
I mean,
like guys at a bar.
Kind of.
Man,
but,
I
again,
hate my wife.
I did not intend for that to happen, and by the end, I was like, this stopped being funny forever ago.
Yeah,
I gotta stop. This is not cool, not funny, and like it was funny the first time it happened because it was completely by accident and only misogynist if you took what I said directly like out of context of the game. But like, oof. Yeah, I felt like shit.
That's good. That's good that you felt like shit.
Yeah.
That's what should happen when you tell a bad joke.
Yep.
Can't tell what time frame is being drawn. Yeah, I don't generally pick time frames to draw from. I draw from like fantasy artists, which kind of go all over the place. Yeah. I watched Shogun last night, so post-feudal Japan is the closest thing you're going to get for this character.
Yeah.
I think.
And my character is just a Mothman telling you to kneel, so no time period on this.
Get down! Get down or be killed! I just can't imagine bugs having like deep basso voices. It's just gotta be nothing but clicks and screeches. Fear me! Fear me, mortal!
And hissing sounds.
Yeah. Alright, I think I'm done with this one.
Yep. I got as much done on this as I want to, I think.
What's the prompt currently? This was a tiefling with a tiefling cryomancer, which maybe I didn't get the cryomancer in quite enough. There we go. He needs more back drapery with hooks.
And Mothman is just my warm up. Yeah. So
Druid was just warming up. I didn't need to reiterate that. I don't know why I said that.
Because you've got to correct me because I'm a misogynist.
Deep clicks and hisses sound terrific. Yeah. Yeah, those kind of voices don't bother me, but it's like my character's a Jamaican something. It's like don't do that, please. Just whatever you're thinking, don't do it. Have you ever heard of the Elikisni of Destiny speak? Is that from Halo? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, no.
I don't think any characters in Mansions of Madness are canonically misogynists. I mean, you can do whatever you want.
No, they're not.
I will put this out here. I love making super racist NPCs that just hate goblins. I don't know why. I love goblins, but I think it's really funny when NPCs just like vehemently hate goblins. I don't know. Kobolds are funny too, but I don't know. I've never had like kobold hatred in my heart, but for some reason it's funny to me.
Yeah, no, the characters probably were not supposed to be misogynist, but it's like set in like 1940s, 1950s in eastern United States. So like some settings breed specific character tropes, and certain character tropes are almost inherently misogynist. So like
I think it's yeah. I mean that goes back to the something I've seen a lot is people playing D&D as if it were like Victorian England, right?
yeah,
And so
yeah.
like there's constantly the trope of basically like pre-suffrage depiction and treatment of women. Even going far as like, oh, it's the bar wench. It's like maybe we shouldn't do that, but like that's the yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there are gay, lesbian, bisexual, and non-binary characters in Arkham Horror. That's true. That's very true. All of those people can be misogynist, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, if you haven't met a misogynist lesbian, you don't know enough lesbians.
I've met some misogynist gay people.
Yeah, same.
Very much so. So I mean, it's having people can be shitty,
Unfortunately.
regardless.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can play a character with different beliefs to you if you play a character who believes. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I don't recommend
it's
playing characters that are like assholes, right? That's not fun. And
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I've had a couple people like I've introduced to D&D, and they very much get that. Like it's like kind of that. I'm gonna go to the whorehouse and get really drunk. It's like great, you do that, and that's it. That's as much role play as I'll give you with that. It's like cool.
Yeah, yeah.
If that's what you
So,
want to
like-
do. Have fun with it. Block Prime. Welcome in. How are you today?
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll a d20.
Yep, same.
Got a 14. Cordorus Summoner, which I think is a catfish. A catfish summoner. Does it summon catfishes? I assume it's supposed to be a catfish that is a summoner. So I will do that.
Sounds good. I got a 7.
7. A reborn artillerist, a skeleton soul sailor with a harpoon gun. I feel like we got each other's picks.
Yeah.
really
Say that one more time for me.
An undead reborn artillerist with a
Artillerist.
harpoon. Sailor with a harpoon.
Okay.
Yep.
Sailor.
Undead
Sailor
pirate.
artillerist. Okay.
I personally don't like the wizard's crippling dependency on mage armor. I think it's unnecessarily built in nerf to the class, which is being forced to deal with one less spell option and spell slots. Well, Douglas, the way around that is to just wear armor. Yeah. The mage armor is a buff from mages being stuck without armor and having no options to have armor. Currently, I think, especially with some of the builds, like if you haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, play Baldur's Gate 3 as the Abjuration Wizard, and you are damn near impossible to kill. It is really funny. So, yeah, mage armor is really good, especially like if you want to give it to anybody, just get it on a wand, buy a wand of mage armor, or like a spell storing slot item. What is that called? There's a bunch of different ways to get that spell slot back, but having mage armor is really powerful.
A spell storing ring or a pearl of power.
Yeah, there we go. Pearl of power. Spell storing ring is the other thing I was thinking of. Good job. Either of those things will fix your problem, 100%. And yeah, don't. I want to clarify that, like, I think I know where your head's at, and I think what you're looking at it wrongly. The thing that you're kind of looking at wrong is that you're assuming that mage armor is a must. Like, that's the optimal way to play, right? So, if you feel that way, yeah, you feel like your spell slot's always down. But find a different way around it. Like, just don't use mage armor. That would be my suggestion. Just don't use mage armor. Take a feat so you can wear armor. Yeah.
Or multi-class into a spellcasting class that comes with armor. Like if you are a wizard, take a level or 2 in Artificer.
Yep, Artificer would work. I'll take a level 1 fighter, and then you get martial weapons too.
Yeah.
It's nothing scarier than a mage with a wizard with the hell is this? Armor of Agathis? Yeah, Armor of Agathis. And a two-handed sword. It's really funny. You should try it. Jenny Barnes canonically supports the suffrage movement, so she can't be a misogynist. Well, that's one person.
I'm ready to move on from that. That was supposed to be like an anecdotal story, not the dissertation on women's rights. Let me be very clear. I fully support women's rights.
100%. Yeah. 100%. Just like I 100% support goblins. But having a this is from the Pathfinder game, Rise of the Rune Lords. You meet a guy that owns a horse stable that will pay you like 5 gold per goblin year you bring in because the goblins keep killing his horses. And it's like, yeah, I get that. I get that character. So
it also seems like a very farmer or rancher thing to do, right? Like the wolves are killing all of my livestock.
And it always brings something funny in when like a goblin shows up in the party and they're just like, Arr! It's like, oh no. So I think those are funny. Making a character who starts off with a bad quality that eventually grows out of it is a very common and easy form of character development. Yeah, pretty satisfying too.
Yeah,
I think that's a good way to do it. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with giving your characters like bad tropes and things that just like maybe the party wouldn't like, right? That's kind of the thing. Is like giving your characters things to overcome can be a lot of fun. Mage armor isn't necessary if your tactics are good enough. The wizard never even hit. Yeah, I mean, one archer will kill a mage.
Yep.
But
and it also depends on whether or not your party is smart enough to actually protect the mage, and whether or not you're smart enough to make sure the mage stays out of things. Yeah. It also depends on how antagonistic your GM is towards your mages.
And the other part of that is once again, like, just because something is good or something is like kind of the meta doesn't mean you have to do it. I have 100% made mage tanks. I have 100% made fighters that are just, butt naked running around with weapons because it's funny.
Yep. And I've done suboptimal sorcerer builds just because I liked the flavor. Mm-hmm. And I did not need to be the most powerful spell slinger in the party.
Yeah. But once again, if you really, really want that spell slot and mage armor, get a wand of fork out the gold, craft it yourself, kill another wizard, get a wand of mage armor, and it solves your problem. I've had wands of mage armor for like fighters. It's great.
This is actually kind of illustrates one of the things that has frustrated me with to no end with 5e is that like they built it so you did not need magical items, but they built it so well that you don't need magical items to the point where people think that magic items don't, like, not that they're not necessary for any build, but like they're a second thought for most people's builds.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating to me. Pathfinder, on the other hand, says you basically must have magic items after a certain level, or you're just screwed.
Have we talked about the variant way of playing, where your gear just levels up as you play?
Yeah, we've discussed it a little bit.
It's kind of interesting. I like that concept.
Yeah,
whereas,
I do as well.
At level 5, your items just become level 1 or level 2 items.
Yeah.
Level 3, level 5.
I like that idea for something like your Tower of Ashvond campaign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have made a lot more sense. That would have made a lot more sense for that. Where like you kind of don't get the chance to go back to town, and so your gear would just level up with you.
Yeah.
That'd be a good alternative for it. There's a major difference between not being optimal and playing the game wrong. Choosing to play a wizard and not using mage armor and fireball isn't optimal, but it's wrong. It's not wrong. I'm not sure, Legend, if you're agreeing with me or disagreeing with me. But, yeah, like... I almost never take Fireball as a mage because it's lazy. And that's how I play games. not lazy to pick it. It's a lazy spell because it's purposefully overpowered. So
Yeah.
it's purposely
intentionally overclocked.
Yeah,
a fourth level spell
to make wizards very powerful, which is good. I mean, like it's almost as much of a it's almost a threat to the DM of just like, hey, don't swarm us. Like, don't swarm us so you get the fireball, right?
Yep.
But I want Big Boom Boom. Oh, you can definitely use Fireball. There's nothing wrong with using Fireball. I just like to challenge my wizards to not use Fireball. These fish have the weirdest heads. Like, they're kind of long. They're long and snooty.
Kind of like a gar.
A little bit.
Catfish?
Yeah. No, not that long. Not quite that long. But for a catfish, they have little doopy noses. Little snoots. If you want Big Boom's Wizard on Fireball, the Storm Sphere is really good. You guys don't have a favorite Arkham Horror File investigators? Yeah, I haven't played Arkham Horrors.
Yeah, me neither.
I played it, like, I think I almost played it once. I don't remember which character I picked. Sometimes you just want to play a Kobold Warlock and only wear a scarf and refuse to play optimally. Yep. 100%. I have done that. Power level of spells is almost entirely due to how they were printed in the past and not game balanced in 5e. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, when Drew and I say it's purposefully chosen or purposely overclocked, it was originally designed and everybody used it and it was super broken, and basically the game designers decided it's fun, right? Like, Fireball is overpowered, and because of that it's fun. We can't nerf it. There's no reason for us to nerf it. It would balance the game better because it's one of the best damage outputting spells for what it is, for how much AoE it has, the range of it. And they're like, no, we want magic to be just kind of bananas, so we're gonna leave it in. So that, and like compared to Lightning Bolt, like Lightning Bolt is really good too, but Fireball is generally gonna get you a higher damage output. So
yeah, because it's easier to catch your targets out in a clump rather than a line.
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
The child is awake.
The babe with the power.
Babe with the power.
I'm making legit Korok sounds today.
Yep. He's moved away from Raptor. He's now at a Korok. My first time playing D&D, I was playing a fire-based necromancer who always accidentally set things on fire despite the fact that fireball was the only spell I was trying to avoid. Nice. See, that can be a lot of fun. And I made a bard right now that just lights himself on fire. Like, that's his whole jam. He's basically a little tinderbox. Like, it's a leshy that lights itself on fire. It's great.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. He also pairs extremely well in party, like tactics-wise, with a witch, another character or another player at our table just recently made, who is built to do burn damage over time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mansions of Madness. I haven't played. I don't play a lot of. My friends are a lot into combat, so I don't get chances to play a lot of the Arkham horror games and stuff.
Yeah.
I have a friend that wants to, so it's in my future. But one day he came up to me. He's just like, "Hey, you should just DM one of these for me." I'm like, "I have no idea how to play that." Like, I don't even have any of the books. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, like the nice thing about Mansions of Madness is it's basically a Call of Cthulhu game,
Yeah.
but everything's written for you. Like it's all pre-written.
That's cool.
Um,
Well, yeah, maybe I'll grab one of those. Same
yeah,
for the DM of.
Mansions is kind of expensive though.
Is it? Does it have all?
It's worth it.
It's basically a
Yeah,
board game, right? Like it comes with all the board game stuff.
yeah, and you build the map out as you explore, kind of a la what's the game? Betrayal at House on
House on
Haunted
Haunted
Hill.
Hill. Yeah.
Yeah, so. It's like it is extremely well produced. The writing is phenomenal. So I absolutely think that it's worth the cost if you can afford to pay for it.
Gotcha.
But it is pretty expensive for a board game.
I had a fun idea that I always had a wizard robot that has some sort of chip as a spell book and bet spells to get spells, I guess, by scanning them. Yeah, that could be cool if you just had like a hand scanner to scan the scroll, just like read it into your memory. I'd give you an internal spell book for that. That'd be pretty great.
Yeah. But you like
Be
in order to
susceptible
fill
to
the
like lightning damage or something.
yeah, or like in order to fulfill the time requirement in order to cast your spell, you have to wait for the loading bar.
That would be funny too. The same DM from my first campaign gave me a magic tattoo with 7 castings of Fireball, which I later used to unintentionally commit a kamikaze. Yeah, there's also the Necklace of Fireball. The Necklace of Fireball is really fun.
Yeah, love
Depending
it.
on which version you use. Because there's one version where you get, it's essentially like, I think, 1 casting? No, it's like 3 castings of level 1 Fireball, 3 castings of level 2, and then like level 4, level 5, level 8. And then like, so that's the beats on the necklace. And you can throw these out, and they're just massive damage and just bananas. And anybody can use them because all you have to do is rip the bead off and throw it. But the problem is, if this takes fire damage, all of them explode. So you have to be really, really careful about taking fire damage while wearing it, which definitely killed a player with one of those.
It's not a 5e item, right? It's
not
a
a 5e, no.
Pathfinder Wondrous item.
Pathfinder and 3.5 have different versions of it, yeah. I think the Pathfinder version
So, like,
has the different varying sizes because they do spells a little different. But the 3.5 one, I think, is just like 7 castings of Fireball and then like 1 or 2 upcasted versions of it.
Yeah. So, yeah, once again, we're going to recommend that if you want to play with more interesting magic items, go to Pathfinder or 3.5 and look at the lists of magic items or wondrous items.
Mm-hmm. If you're ever at SaltCon or drive to Emerald City, we'll have to do a 3. Yeah, that could be fun. I used all 7 fireballs at the same time to try to kill a Rakshasa. Yep. I've definitely had people do that. Throw the necklace in and then just like then cast their own fireball spell. Arkham Horror plays different than all the previous editions. Interesting. Okay. It didn't work out. Oh, it didn't kill the Rakshasa? That's too bad.
Yeah, the Rakshasa is it's from the Hellplane. Don't they have
immune to fire?
resistance to fire? Yeah, either resistance or immunity.
I gave Lars a spellbook of Ireball. No, he tried to use the. What was it? He tried to use a Vindictive Blade Sword with a D100. I'm like, whatever you roll as a D100 will do damage to whatever you attack. Like, you can roll any die, but you also have to take that damage. And he tried to use that on one of my NPCs and killed himself. The scroll of made I made a spell book, a goblin spell book. It was just a goblin book of Fireball. But if you like looked at it real close, there was a typo and it was Ireball. And so whenever you cast it, it just blows up on you. And anybody caught in the blast is immediately mad at you. Which, like, that doesn't mean anything mechanically, but it's really funny. Just draw people's ire. With a self-immolating spellbook.
Yeah. I don't know if like mechanically, I think I would allow it if a player made this argument. I would allow a barbarian to get a free rage in, triggered by that.
What's up, little man?
He likes my idea.
Yeah, do that one.
Rage more. Okay, it's appropriate for a undead pirate to have a hanging scar, right? Oh, did we lose Rook?
Sorry, I'm talking. 1 second.
Yeah. Leave the noose. He needs a neck. Oh yeah, yeah, good idea.
Okay, sorry.
You're good.
I like the idea that this fish just like gained enough magical knowledge. Like, it's not a dude, it's just a fish. Game rules are weird.
Yep.
Well, that's it. You have 12 int. Well, guess what? You know common now. Oh, little guy, what's up? Oh, oh. Maybe has a lot to say today. Yeah. Favorite Guardian Investigator in Arkham Horror's card game is Sister Mary. I could play none. Somatic synchronized swimming spells. You got air breathing. Oh, is that what's up, kiddo? Okay, hold on a second. Be right back. 1 second.
Okay. Oh, I can't forget the harpoon. Screwed myself on these arms. Race it and try again. I should probably also make sure he's got a pistol. And I'm trying to decide if, help me out here, chat, if pirate needs big pirate hat or like bandana, or should I leave him bald and scalped? Pirate needs either hat, bandana, or bandolier flintlock. Yeah. Considering he's a ballistics expert, I'm assuming, based on the class, bandolier flintlocks is not a bad idea. Yeah, okay, well, I'll try a couple hats and we'll see. You guys heard of Fallout 2D20 RPG? I have not. I don't really interact with the Fallout franchise much. Although I do kind of love it as a setting.
Let me know if there's an echo, alright? I had to take my headphones off. You guys hear about
don't
the
hear one
D20
yet.
RPG at all? Okay, that's good. No, I haven't heard about that. Fallout was a great game back in the day. Like, I mean, it's never been a bad game, but like the first one was awesome, and I'm glad that the universe has survived into so many different mediums. Yeah. I'm so tired. I'm gonna get mad.
Yeah, been there.
Hat also keeps things out of the eyes while trying to aim.
Yeah, I'm asking if pirate needs hat.
Gotcha. I'm essentially just drawing a fish at this point.
Yeah. Pretty much. There's nothing wrong with that.
Am I in your way? Move.
A little bit, but not too bad. I'm not happy with this arm or this pose anyway, but I don't want to redraw all this because I really like most of it.
This kid's really tired. And all he's doing is trying to suck on my shirt, so I think I need to put him down. But if I put him down, he's gonna get mad. It's a double-edged baby sword. You can't give a child a sword.
Why not? It's what she asked for. What if she cuts herself? Then that will have been an excellent lesson to how she will have learned.
Another Terry Pratchett. I think that's a short from the Discworld series. Like,
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
The Hogfather. I was looking at those books because I'm like, yeah, I'll start reading Discworld. There's like 87 books or something. I was like,
Yeah,
that's not
there's
good.
a ton of them. I feel behind enough because I haven't ever read any of them either. I feel behind enough that it feels insurmountable to start at this point.
Right. Net 1s and net 20s are swapped and need to roll low, beat your own skill DC to get the Thaco perspective. You can't just fold yourself in half. Stop. You're super cute and I love you. I need to work. All of these things are the truth.
Not true.
All these things are true. Okay, there we go. I can balance him on one hand and draw with the other. The problem is that once I start doing that, if he starts wiggling, like, it actually moves my drawing tablet. So I can't do all three. Oh lordy. You alright? There's a binky.
What?
You want this?
I want to take that.
Just not one pass. He's hungry and is both things. Okay. I roll high when I play Fallout and low when I play D&D, of course. Yeah, that's the way it works, right?
That is, yeah, absolutely. I'm honestly terrified to play normal games or like dice games now because of the GM's curse, which states that that you will roll high as a GM, but as soon as you get out from behind the GM screen, you roll for your rolls are garbage.
Yep.
Universally.
This is the truth.
I experienced quite a bit of that last night.
I was watching. Actually, no. I'm gonna finish this, and then I'll tell the story.
Okay.
I was watching X-Men '97 last night,
Oh yeah.
which is good. It's good, but like they do a whole bunch of like exposition between episodes, and it's like, what is happening here? And while I dig it, there's also a lot of weird stuff going on that I want to talk about. But I want to finish the series before I like really rip into it.
Sounds good. I'm going to be very curious to hear your take on it. I haven't watched any of it, and honestly probably won't, despite the fact that I was kind of hyped for it.
Yeah.
But I don't consume much standard media anymore. I don't think that's going to change.
My GM
So I
rules
will
are
be-
usually trash. Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, I will be very curious to hear your review.
Okay, I think I'm done with this bad boy. What would a fish summoner summon? Sharks? I guess sharks.
Yeah. Dunkleosteus. Other prehistoric horrifying things. Bobbit worms.
Bobbit worms? Yeah, that'd be good. What kind of armor does mage armor work for on a fish? It's a little bubble.
I like that. I like a bubble.
Okay, I'm done with this one. I'm gonna move on to the next one.
Sounds good.
12. Hobgoblin Mastermind Rogue as a Mafia boss. I feel like I've drawn so many of these. What is it about the Hobgoblin that makes them mob bosses?
I think it's their lore.
Maybe.
About how they're supposed to believe that they're the epitome, air quotes, master race of the goblins. And about how they tend to be in charge of other goblins.
That's true. I think the thing I dislike the most about I have a problem with like modern characters, and it's not that like they're bad characters or anything, because they're fine. Like they're exactly the same as any other character. and they can be great, interesting characters. They all just wear suits. It's like mob boss, mob thug, like it's just suits, right? So it's like, do I want to just fantasy it up, or do I just draw this guy with a fedora? I don't know. The headcanon is the catfish and the revenant are on the same crew. He just summons the undead goblin or the undead guy. Didn't the new World of Warcraft expansion come out 2 days ago?
I had heard that, but I don't know.
I have heard literally nothing about it. Did anybody get it?
Or always fishing for someone to play MMOs with.
Yep. I mean, really, I just only play games with people.
Yeah.
And MMOs are generally pretty good for multiple people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna dispute it with you. Just
I'm trying to build a Soul Knife Rogue Warlock, which would get a great one, but its abilities just don't work well with the Rogue kit. I've run into that too. Yeah.
yeah.
The thing with the Soul Knife Rogue is like it really depends on what you're trying to get out of it, because most of the Soul Knife stuff. It doesn't really do anything for you. It's kind of the sad thing. Like thematically, I love it, but it's not a good kit in my mind.
All it does is replace weapons.
Yeah, it's like what if you had a free dagger? It's like daggers are essentially free. Like there's, so like it compared to like a hidden weapon build, which you could do in Pathfinder, was kind of fun, but I really wanted the Soul Knife to be like a ninja, and it's not. It's just psychic rogue. So really, it depends on what you're trying to do. Like, is the invisible weapons the important part of your kit, or like what is it about the Soul Knife Rogue that you like, that you want to focus on? Start playing Guild Wars 2. I'm sorry for your loss. No, I played Guild Wars 2 when it came out, like long time ago. I played it to like level 40, and then I just gave up. It wasn't bad. I just went back to playing WoW. It felt like Guild Wars 2 was really trying to be WoW at the beginning, and since then people have said it's gotten really good. But I've been playing WoW Secret Discovery. Okay, it's really good, even if my loot drop is abysmal. Luck. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm over RNG for most loot drops.
Yep, same.
If you're gonna tell me I'm gonna kill a game animal and I only have a 30% chance to get any amount of edible meat off of it, you're doing your food system wrong.
I can understand that. Do you have one? Okay. What was the last game I played where it was just like they were just giving you too much loot? It didn't matter.
Diablo?
It was Diablo. Yep, you're right. It's like, here's a whole bunch of stuff to craft things. It's like, but I don't need to craft things because the only good stuff is dropped. And it's like, but you could. It's like, none of this is worth anything to me. What are you doing?
It's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time and space. Yeah. Waste of time and space is a great way to describe Diablo 4.
Oh, it's sad.
It was a fun game up to max level, and then it was just like hyper repetitive real fast. Dang it, I made Heisenberg.
Oops. That's okay. Heisenberg is interesting.
Technically a mob boss. Hobgoblin Trump.
Let's not even talk about the or let's not even hint at talking about the Orange Man, please.
Fair. It's because my friend got me in playing Deep Rock Galactic. Yeah, Deep Rock Galactic's good. What is Rook drawing? I'm drawing a Hobgoblin mob boss. Drew is drawing an undead harpooner. What did I just watch? I just watched Nicolas Cage movie where he's Dracula.
Oh, it's named after his thrall, right?
Yeah. Starts with an R. Doesn't really matter. It was okay. It didn't make any goddamn sense. Like, it wasn't. It's one of those things where, like, one of the biggest things that drive me crazy about, like, werewolf and vampire movies, cough cough Underworld, is when they don't stay consistent within their own universe.
Yeah.
And that movie didn't stay consistent within its own, like, its own movie. Like, it's just like within the same movie, nothing made any goddamn sense. So it was weird. It was a fun little romp, but like, I wouldn't say it was a good movie. Not gonna lie, my Adventures with Superman is actually pretty good. My Adventures with Superman, I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
I tend to be more like Chorus and play a bunch of single player map conquering games. That's cool. Yeah, I grew up with I don't want to say fairly large group of friends, but like some of my friends were twins and my other friends like all lived next to each other, so I was constantly with at least 3 or 4 people. Very rarely did I ever like go to one person's house. So when I played games, it was always like that, and I didn't really have any game systems for a long time, so I had to play other people's stuff. So when I got to play games, it was always with people.
I had kind of a similar experience, but kind of learned not to enjoy playing with other people because the people I played with basically only wanted to play like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, and they took great pleasure in kicking the shit out of me who did not know how to play. So
Shitty people.
yeah.
You grew up from the LAN party era. That's true. Yeah. I've been in many a LAN party. For Halo, for Dota, Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, StarCraft, Diablo 1 and 2.
I think the only thing I did a LAN party for was Command and Conquer Tiberian Sun.
I did a Command and Conquer, yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Ooh, Heroes. LAN party of Heroes. Those are fun.
Alright, I think I'm done with this one.
this. Okay. Speaking of Dracula, we're going Dracula coat.
All right, still D20.
Yep. Well, I mean, yes. Yeah, you can do that. We only have
Okay.
16 left, so
Oh well, I rolled 16.
that works. Undead Bard.
Cool. Okay.
That's all it says. It just says Undead Bard.
Undead Bard. That's fine.
The Dice Gods want what they want.
There are plenty of different kinds of undead.
I wonder if people don't know what a land party is now that I think about it. Is that left the lexicon? I remember one of my friends, one time we had to leave. Like, we couldn't hang out at their house because one of their sisters was having a Facebook party. I'm like, the fuck is a Facebook party? Everyone just comes over and uses the Wi-Fi. It's just like, that's kind of what we're doing, I guess. So maybe I shouldn't trash on it.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It's just you just had to have all your computers hooked up through an Ethernet cable instead of through the Wi-Fi.
Well, yeah, you built a self-contained system.
Yeah.
Is what LAN
LAN,
Land?
not land.
What?
LAN.
Yeah, LAN. Local area networks. Instead of connecting through a router, you just connected everybody up through a switch. Connected all your computers into one system and then played games together.
Yeah.
And now, the internet is so good that you don't have to do that anymore. Man, I remember playing World of Warcraft on dial-up. That was awful.
I did not have any computer games before that relied on the internet before we had Ethernet. What's the funniest instrument I could give to a gnome skeleton?
Not a bone flute, like, or maybe his own shin. That could be funny. If anybody's old enough to remember the Xbox One, the Xbox One is a different thing. The original
first,
Xbox, you used to be able to buy a switch over cable, which means you didn't even need a router. You could just plug two Xboxes in together, and then you could play a whole bunch of Halo.
Yeah, that was like the big selling point.
Mm-hmm.
No other system has this.
My friends and I made our own switchover cables, so we didn't have to pay people for them. It was great. I know a guy with a crimper. Oh my god. 200-foot switch cable is awesome. I brought that to college so I could run a cable like all the way down the dorm room. Dorm room hall.
Awesome.
I need to spend like a whole week just drawing clothes. Whatever I'm doing here is bad.
Oh, it's not terrible. You're
Not
just
terrible,
getting a
it's
little.
just-
You're getting a little wild with the flowiness.
Yeah.
Just standing in a wind tunnel.
This arm is... It's actually not a bad arm. It's just positioned weird.
My favorite seeker in Arkham Horror is Min Tai Fan. She's a Vietnamese born in Korean under Japanese rule. Yeah, that's a thing that could that's a thing that could have happened historically.
Guessing reborn bard. It just says undead. So
Yep.
yeah.
They didn't say.
No
I'm
specified.
extremely tempted to give him bone-themed bagpipes.
Like it's a rib cage?
Yeah.
Okay.
And with the I don't even know what they're called, the
Pipes?
pipe part that comes out of the bag being made out of bones.
I feel like I've made a small goat butler. I'm gonna start this over.
I mean, kind of. I would not say your assessment is inaccurate.
I'm gonna go to like a red. I think a darker red would help. I think I always confuse bugbears and hobgoblins because of the sideburns.
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty similar, right? They're both
Yeah.
goblins. They're both fairly big. They're both kind of generally denoted as being cruel
Yeah, true.
and dominating.
Drag, welcome in.
There's-
Yeah, they both got the big... The bugbears just have like fuzzy noses is the problem.
Yeah, yeah. I treat them. Well, they're basically the difference between a bugbear and a hobgoblin is basically the same as the difference between Wolverine and Sabretooth.
Yep. Yep. It's a great way to look at it. Don't have a beard. Just the sideburns. But if it's a skeleton, how would you be able to blow air in the bagpipes without lungs? I mean, how can skeletons make any noise? How do skeletons walk without muscles?
It's magic.
Magic, baby.
Do you want me to install a bellows inside the ribcage? Inside his ribcage?
Where do you suspend your disbelief? That's the question.
I've kind of half been waiting for somebody to say, but actually you can't play a skeleton. It's not a playable race. And in which case I would say, play Pathfinder 2nd Edition. It is actually.
Someone got very upset about my merfolk video.
Oh.
None of this is real. This is all lies. And I'm like, 3.5. That's the only thing. You're looking at the wrong edition. 3.5.
There's more than 5e. Which is something that I very much want to remind people now that WotC has said that they're gonna let D&D be in the public domain again.
Actually, what they said is they're putting it in the Creative Commons, which I was thinking about that, and I'm like, if it's in the Creative Commons, that means people can't sell it.
Oh, that's worse.
Yeah, so we'll see. They might be. We'll see what happens, but depending on how they attribute it to the Creative Commons,
Yeah, basically, they're gonna have to write a new license.
yeah, that's what they're doing. And so it's now a matter of what their actual verbiage is.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple different kinds. Like the Creative Commons 4 is for educational. Like basically, you can use literally anything you want, but you're putting it into an educational purposed item that is then given back to everybody. So it's like, you can't copyright it. Period. Completely forgot about Walkthrough. Walkthrough's great. Yeah. Based off of a game, an MMO that I have not played. The show's good though. If a skeleton has a hammer, can they play the ribcage like a xylophone? I mean, it seems so. They've been doing that since the 20s.
Yeah.
I don't see why not, I guess.
Not that I think anybody should go back and watch those old cartoons. And if you do, take it with a grain of salt. Remember, product of its time. A lot of it is cringe.
I don't know what I've done here. Why am I struggling to draw a hobgoblin? I think maybe it's because I made him bald. I don't know if I've ever seen a bald hobgoblin.
Yeah, maybe. I really like 2D myself, but as a surprising amount of content. Yeah, Pathfinder is like Paizo is seriously just pumping out stuff for second edition Pathfinder, and they're working on second edition Starfinder right now. Like
Yeah.
that's coming out soon, which is going to be really cool and exciting.
Nope, we're scrapping it. We're starting over. Starting from scratch.
I just wish Pathfinder was better about keeping their website up to date and organizing their information so it was in a way that made it easier to get it all. That being said, it is my now default RPG. It's the one that I play the most. It's the one that I want to play the most.
Yeah. I've been trying to find the time to start up a Pathfinder 2 campaign to play with people from the Discord and stuff, but I've not yet been able to do so.
I mean, you just had a kid, so like,
Yep.
be gentle on yourself when it comes to time management, please.
Yeah.
Especially once Jump Rope is off maternity leave.
That reminds me, I need to get another video out before that happens.
I just wish I could get into Pathfinder every time I try fail. Yeah, Legend. Pathfinder's like the greatest weakness of Pathfinder is that it is significantly harder to get into than 5e.
Yeah, they didn't do themselves a lot of favors with 2e either.
Nope.
Because they're like, what if we make a tag system? It's like, that does not work in book form.
Nope. it barely works in online form.
Yeah. It works great if you're playing a video game.
Yeah, yeah. But if you have to follow 7 different links in order to get the information you need to do one thing on a turn, it kind of screws you over.
Yep.
Which is what I meant when I was talking about when I said I wish that they collated their information better.
Yep.
Yeah. So really, in order to get into it, you have to have a table who's willing to put in a little bit of effort, or maybe a lot of effort. If you're playing with people who have learning disabilities, unfortunately. So it is what it is. I will say that Pathfinder is a system that rewards you for knowing the system once you manage to pick it up.
Here's our Arkham Batman Game Boy in a VR exclusive game, and a lot of people aren't happy about it. VR exclusive. I mean, okay. I think people shouldn't be mad about that, because if it's a VR exclusive game, it's not really an Arkham Batman game. They're probably just going to take Arkham Batman and put it in a VR. Like, so many things have done that, so it's not really a new Arkham game. I would just pass by it. The VR exclusive things are basically designed for VR, and it's like, I've talked to so many game designers that just hate it, but it's money, right? Like, somebody wants to pay them to do it because it's like, oh, this is the thing, and it's like, it's not really a thing. It's only a thing because people are trying to make it a thing.
Yeah.
So it's not vaporware, because like, it exists, like it will be a game, but like, the Half-Life game is not it's not really a Half-Life game. It's a VR. What's the word I'm looking for here?
I'm not sure.
Not a trick. It's a stunt. Stunt is closer. Character creation turns me off, feeling like you're missing racial abilities until you have all the ancestry feats. For Pathfinder 1, it's more attuned for the people still playing it. More the attributes of the people still playing it.
Gimmick?
Gimmick, yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's gimmick. It's just it's a VR gimmick. So, because VR games essentially, like, they have these really harsh limitations on things you can do, and then you skin them to something, and so people just keep skinning them to different things. Yeah. And so the people that are developing it, because I was one of those guys back in the day, it's all a gimmick. It's all a gimmick to try to make it seem more interesting than it actually is. So
kind of like 3D glasses in movie theaters.
Mm-hmm. Same thing. Like, most movies don't need to be 3D, and very few of them actually are improved by it. So you're missing the racial feats abilities until you get the ancestry. Yeah, there's something to be said about, like, the ancestry feats being able to level up, I think, is really cool. Honestly, I think you should get a lot more at level 1.
I would tend to agree, and also I think that most ancestries need more ancestry feat options in general.
Yeah.
That being said, there are a couple of variants, so that, like, I'm just gonna put it out there right now. Like, when I said that that Pathfinder rewards you for understanding the system, I mean that it's the least fun way to play it is vanilla. Right. So what we're doing at our table is we're using the an optional rule variant, and Pathfinder has a lot of optional rules variants, first and second edition. But we're using the optional rule variant called it's a free archetype. So, like, what it does is basically at level 1 you get one free archetype, and
a free
you
multi-class.
Yeah, it's a free multi-class. So you get a bunch of extra feats every couple of levels. and 1 or 2 free ones at level 1. There's also it's gotta remember it's the
I don't know what you're talking about. Are we doing something else that I'm not doing?
no, like we're not doing it, but there's another optional rule set that you can do if you want more heritage feats.
Ah. I think you should get all the level 1 heritage feats for your race.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. And we are also doing kind of a homebrew optional rule set where if a species is kind of supposed to have a different move speed, like
I like flight.
Strix, for example,
Yeah.
or the pixies, they really should have a fly speed because they have wings. Or the Naga should have and the Gripply should have swim speed because they're frogs and
Yeah.
snakes. Like,
That was
and
that
the
was
yeah,
that's an
go
interesting
ahead.
thing that like they kind of acknowledge that though.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
basically saying like we removed that stuff because it balances the game, and it's up to your DM to allow that to be included.
yeah,
So
yeah. So they don't have a specific like alternate rule set for that yet. They just kind of left that up to the GM to decide.
yeah,
So what I did is I've basically said that player characters that should have an alternate move speed get half of their base land movement speed in that form, except for fly, which is I think I did like 1.5 times. I forget exactly. I've got it written in down somewhere. And then like the feats you take add to that instead of just giving you
yeah.
the base movement that you should have. Anyway. So
I've
yeah,
tried so hard not to make this just a boring mob boss, and it's breaking my brain.
this is your third attempt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like if you look up mob boss, it's the exact same picture every single fucking time. And they're
Yeah.
all
Yeah. Well, that's because mob bosses have always wanted to be seen as legit businessmen or police forces, right? So visually, they're not designed to stand out. Unless we're talking about New York hood gangs, which have their own call signs and uniforms and um pants hanging off the ass sort of aesthetic.
I don't know if that counts as a mob. I guess it
It,
would.
I mean,
If
it doesn't.
Heisenberg
It
does,
counts
then
as
it does.
yeah.
Like that would make
It
sense.
counts as a gang
It's a
specifically.
gang leader,
but
a mob boss. When does one become the other?
I don't know. I don't know. Which is why I brought it up
Yeah,
because the distinction is not clear to me.
I'm just gonna give him a suit. Just gonna give him a suit. I give up. I surrender.
I don't think I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay. I'm also gonna surrender. I'm not gonna. I've been trying to wrap my head around giving this guy bagpipes, and bagpipes are. I don't want to draw bagpipes.
Yeah. Bagpipes are pain. Yes. That's why I was like, are you gonna draw 2 rib cages on a skeleton? Touche. Mob wife aesthetic? I don't. What does that mean?
The mob wife aesthetic. The mob wife aesthetic is the same as the Jersey housewife aesthetic, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah. I think. Hey, maybe I'm gonna give this guy a badass Mexican guitar and do a Dia de los Muertos vibe. That should be good, right? Right, chat? We down with that? Although they're a gnome, so I guess it's a ukulele.
I mean, you could give him the regular size guitar. That could be funny.
It would help it to read as gnome. Mafia did own Cuba for a while. Yeah. But again, mafiosos are just businessmen aesthetic.
What language is spoken in Cuba? Is it Spanish
Cuban.
or Portuguese? Cuban is his own language?
I believe so.
I don't know if that's right.
I think it's... Yeah, I don't know.
Puerto Rican?
No,
That doesn't sound
Spanish.
right. It is Spanish? Okay.
Or Cuban Spanish.
Spanish. Got it. Yep. Okay. Portuguese is almost Spanish, but not quite.
Gnome skeletons made out of rock candy. I mean, that depending on which folklore we're pulling from, that does feel appropriate.
Mayor Lansky? I don't know who that is. It sounds familiar. Is it a real person or is it a character? I really wanted to draw Marv from from Sin City. Just super bulk. Boom, 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 boom.
This guitar is going to cover most of this half length.
You know what he needs? He needs a cigar.
Yeah, yeah.
Where's Hawaiian shirts and polos? Yes, that doesn't read Mob Boss. That's the problem with like drawing troped characters.
Yeah.
Is like as soon as you start deviating from it, it doesn't look like the thing anymore.
Yeah. We really have to use common parlance visual language in order to get the point across. Which is one of the reasons why clothes are so important and why Rook is saying he needs to sit down and just draw clothes for a week.
Yep. Sorry, 1 second.
You're good. I'm just figuring out how big I need to make this guitar. And we played the classic RPG Vampire the Masquerade. I have not. I've always wanted to, but that's one my group has not actually yeah, my table has not agreed that we all want to play it. I can't even get the rest of my table to play Call of Cthulhu, and half of them are super into the Lovecraftian mythos, so I'll also admit I'm not necessarily. I don't. That Skelos isn't a halfling. The bone should be here. Not a halfling. They are a gnome. Did I say halfling? Sorry. This is a freaking bass, not a guitar. Right, I'm gonna have to rethink this arm after.
Oh boy. My back is killing me.
Still from jump rope.
It was better.
From
And then
rope?
yesterday I installed an AC unit and did more jump ropes. More jumping of ropes.
Yep.
And now my back hurts again. But it's the other side, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Hopefully that means I'm improving.
I just realized how, considering your partner's moniker is jump rope, how potentially fraught
Cardio.
talking
Doing
about.
cardio.
Yeah.
Some other things I have to do. No problem, Douglas. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah. See you later.
Since they're halfling, does their bones have to be hairy? They could, I guess. Hair isn't really attached to your bones, but I like the effort. I like where your head's at. I'm gonna draw the next thing because I can't draw this guy anymore.
Sounds good.
An Alhoon comedian, sorcerer bard, who's really trying to be funny. What is an Alhoon? I feel like it's a squid-faced thing.
No, I'm not sure.
Yep. Mind flayer liches.
Gotcha.
I don't know why chat's not working on YouTube today. It's really weird. Must be something wrong with my YouTube chat. Blip, 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 blip. Blip, 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 blip.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
I think the Sagas book pamphlet, PDF, might be PDF. I think right now. Starting to get put together and shipped for the
Patrons?
Kickstarter members.
Yeah, Kickstarter.
Which is really cool. So that's on its way. So if you're a Kickstarter for that, for the sagas, keep your eyes peeled for that. And then one of the games I've been working on is also getting on its way. We were gonna promote it to Steam, but now I don't know if we are. So that project might just, I don't know what's going on with it. But if that does go on Steam, I will let people know so they can download it. Man, hoods are weird.
Don't make foreskin joke, don't make foreskin joke, don't make foreskin joke.
Could have taken it so many different ways. You could.
You said manhoods.
I said man, comma hoods. But I understand where you're coming from now. How am I supposed to make an Alhoon look funny? Make him look like a clown? I guess they're a comedian, not a clown. What bard would you go for a clown? Concert went well. Good, Drag. I'm glad to hear it. Is that a school concert or... Can't remember exactly what it was for. Prop comic. Prop comic would have to be like a creation bard, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Prop comic is very funny, but I just absolutely cannot see a lichified illithid doing Carrot Top's routine. How did my density get so low? No wonder I've been having like a couple of issues.
You just kept skipping leg day. Oh. I think Elliot's got the right idea, though. I'm gonna give him a horn.
Icicle, a horn in the end of every tentacle. That's not bad.
I don't know why I'm painting this one, but I am.
Probably because you had such a hard time on the last one. You want something to get the taste out of your mouth.
I gotta change something up. Sometimes I just have to prove I know what I'm doing.
Amen.
Broken clock made right twice a day. Yeah. I love that saying. It's so like passively. It's not passive aggressive, but just like a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, yeah. It really is a endearing insult.
Yeah.
I forget how complicated wrists are. I'm just gonna shorthand it, and it'll be fine.
Jazz hands.
I don't need to go wild with the detail, just need to indicate stuff.
Ta-da!
It's goofy.
Short-handed wrists are funny to me for some reason. Like baby hands? Short-handed wrists. Like that?
Oh, I'm talking about visual shorthand. I'm talking about language communication. But yes, it is a very funny sentence.
The hand would definitely be shorter without the wrist. Oh, yeah. You could always get the Cotton Hill. Where they just remove your shin and put your foot there. Just got biceps. And then fingers. Because that'd be removing the whole forearm instead of just the wrist. Go from the elbows right to the hands. Waka waka. Should have given him the Fozzie Bear hat. Oh, that's what he needs. He needs a bow tie. That's what will do this. but they're little frostbitten teddy bears. Love the Muppets. I didn't ever realize how much of my life was affected by Waldorf and Statler.
Yeah, they're pretty unassuming characters. You just kind of think of them as the default peanut gallery, right?
Yeah. All right, I think I'm done with this one. Don't eat a cat. Yeah. Don't do it. It's a good chance that a witch owned that cat, and then they will curse you. Unless that's what you want. Every now and again, I have to look up the saying of like this, a bunch of ways to skin a cat. And I always forget what the meaning was, because I think it's nonsensical. It's kind of one of those random things that just popped up.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. I think the bow tie's enough. Waka waka. There we go. I really want to add lines. I like lines. Just like them. I don't need them on the pinky. That should be fine. Okay, let's do more. It's 1:30. We're doing all right. Plugging along. 8. A very cute, wide-eyed, adorable, but villainous. Oh, but villainous frog. Okay. Very cute, wide-eyed, adorable, but villainous frog. Let's do it. Oops. Merge down.
I had 2 players at my D&D table that modeled their humor of Waldorf and Statler.
Mm-hmm.
Love them dearly, but they should never play at the same table. Yep.
We stayed till the end. Now unlock the doors.
Uh,
I'm trying to remember. They have a whole bunch of like just quick one-liners that I love, and I always forget them.
Yeah. And the older I get, the more I relate to them,
Mm-hmm.
which I feel is kind of dangerous, but also delightful. I don't know.
I tried to look up. They're funny. Okay, what was I doing? Frog. Cute frog.
Yep. Cute frog, villainous.
Oh yeah, evil Kermit. Here we go. That's true. I could just do evil Kermit. Should I give it a mustache? Mustachio?
I don't see why not. Mustaches are cool. Or can be. I think it's probably too soon for the Tom Selleck to come back, but... Keep trying to ask myself how much is too much for a Dia de los Muertos
I couldn't
Sort
unmute
of
my mic there for a second. Sorry.
paint job. Oh, you're good. And the answer keeps coming back. It's impossible. It's impossible to do too much for Day of the Dead.
Thank you. I'm afraid I accidentally turned this into a newt.
Not hard to do. Most amphibians are pretty similar looking.
I think it's going to be all on the legs.
What you laughing at?
I'm laughing at the kid.
Ah.
He'll be dead asleep and just like, meh. It's like, why? What was that? Meh.
It's sleep talking. It's fine.
One second. This was a fun frog, but I'm going to draw a different one. I'm going to go more cat bug.
Love Catbug.
I'm cat bug. Surprised you haven't made a cat bug character in D&D.
I mean, I am too. Seems like a no-brainer. I had too many ideas for other NPCs, and not enough ideas for how I would actually build Catbug to be useful as an NPC. So
Yeah.
that's probably why. That's why no Catbug, no puppy cat.
Looks like he's about to sell car insurance. He doesn't. He did look like a gecko.
Alright, I think I'm done. If this doesn't read undead small bard, then I don't know what will.
You right there, kiddo? Hold on.
Whoa. Yeah, Corvus, cat bug. Hold on. I'll show you.
Hiccups? What happened?
Cat bug was a character in a like a YouTube cartoon series done by Cartoon Hangover. Played by one of the I think one of the artist's like 6-year-old son.
The baby hiccups.
Cat bug and puppy cat were the name of drones in a cyberpunk game I saw a live play of. Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. Hold on. Okay. Let's try this again. Catbug and Puppy Cat were the name of drones in cyberpunk game I saw. That's funny.
Yeah. It means that the person you were watching was a fan of Cartoon Hangover back in the day.
I would not be surprised if they worked there. Frog butt.
Frog butt. Not to derail you again so soon, but I need a new prompt.
Oh, go ahead.
That was a 20. That's too high. Reroll. 2.
Cyberpunk cattle rancher with various cybernetics and a rifle slinged across their back. Cyberpunk cattle rancher. I assumed it was a minotaur, but now that I reread it, I don't know.
The dice gods really are mixing us up today, aren't they?
How do I make a cute and evil frog?
Make it a rain frog.
Make it a rain frog? What do you mean a rain? Oh, the little, like...
The grumpy, squeaky frogs
Done.
that have the face of pure evil.
Good call. Thank you, Corvus. Welcome in.
Here's a picture to refresh your memory.
I like it.
They do look like the frog version of Grumpy Cat.
Yep.
Since we're talking about 10-year-old internet characters.
I like Grumpy Cat. It's probably about 15 years.
There's a Fall Out Boy song that goes, everyone in all of these old pictures are dead. It just makes me like, every time people talk about old memes, it's just like, that's going to live forever. And I have no idea what happened to the people in those pictures. Sorry, that was some existentialism we probably didn't need for the day.
It's fine. Given the caliber of the jokes I've been making, I probably deserve that.
Apparently Hades 2 has taken a whole bunch of shade from the other indie developers.
For what reason?
Because they were like, hey, we're releasing our early beta. Just kidding, here's the game. And it was like... So there's a whole bunch of indie devs that were like, okay, so I guess the game I was releasing today just doesn't matter now.
Oh. Yeah. There was a Souls-like game that was set to release. They were supposed to release their trailer for the exact same day as when From Software dropped their DLC trailer.
Yeah.
Turned out DLC was also supposed to drop the same week as the little indie game. So like, yeah, we're doing a later release.
So that was the complaint that I saw. A bunch of indie developers are like, hey, can we stop doing secret releases, because it's hurting indie developers who are who like basically don't want to compete with the bigger companies. It's like,
Yeah.
if you know Halo's coming out, you're not going to release your game the day Halo comes out. So it's like we need.
But like, Hades 2 is still early access, isn't it? It's not the full game.
Right. It's not so much that like that the releasing game is fine. Like, I think they're doing fine, but they released it like they said they were going to release it like less than a month before they actually did. So it's just hard to plan around that kind of stuff. That's the complaint.
Gotcha. Yep.
Like, secret drops, stop it. So who knows? I don't know if it's good or bad, because like I also don't like companies that are like, we're going to release a game in 5 years. It's like, don't tell me until it's closer.
Yep.
But at the same time, I can definitely see where people are like, we have to plan a little bit, because otherwise we're going to start, like, it does hurt smaller indie games that can't compete with you, right? So
Yeah. It kind of, what you were saying about the 5-year stuff reminds me of this one Chinese game. It's like about Sun Wukong. I don't even remember what it's called, but they released a teaser trailer for it back in 2014. No, maybe even 2013. And it's just like nothing for it. And then like every like E3 they'll release another little like a slightly more updated version of the teaser trailer. And it's like, this game ain't coming. You're just lying to us. Like how we're not getting a Yuri on Ice movie. It's just, it ain't coming.
That's fine. Yuri on Ice doesn't need a movie.
Yep. Which
I don't know.
they officially said.
I don't know what those words that just came out of your mouth were. What?
So Yuri on Ice it was
I don't want to know. Is that jump the game?
Yuri on Ice was a very popular anime about it's kind of like a slice of life anime about a
Ice
Japanese Olympic figure skater.
Okay.
Who falls in love with his male coach. And it is excellent. It is
Gay sports manga.
Yep.
Very much so, yes.
Got it.
But it is excellently written, and the love story does not
It's only slightly inappropriate.
overshadow everything. The love story does not overshadow everything else. Oh no, like in terms of like ethics, it's still wildly gross, because athlete getting,
Yeah, don't date your
I won't
coach.
say taken advantage of, but like, yeah, like in a romantic relationship with the coach.
I'm gonna clarify what I just said. Don't date your pupils.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. It's not the. It's not the. It's not the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
It's- In this case, it's not like an age different thing. They're roughly like the same age. It's just it's the power dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah.
That being said, it was extremely popular and it is excellently written, but
So
does
was
not
Game of
need-
Thrones. Jamie Lannister
Yeah.
was still wrong.
It does not need it does not need a movie though.
Gotcha.
Well, the studio Mappa said they were going to make a video, like not a video, but a movie. That was like 5 years ago,
Mm.
and fairly recently, like maybe last week or so, they officially pulled the plug on it, even though everyone kind of knew it had the plug pulled on it.
Gotcha. Don't put your teachers in a situation where you just say no to you. Yeah, that's also true. Yeah. It takes two people to be in the wrong there, but the person with the power needs to have there should be able to have the final say there.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Thanos was right. A very cute evil frog.
Oh. Amazing.
I could push this politically, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to just walk away.
That said, did nothing wrong.
I was going to say, Thanos did some good stuff, too. Which maybe some people will get that, but if you don't, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Wow, I've rolled 19, 16, 12, 12, 12. That's 14. Come on. Wait, I have 12. I can do 12. Thrycreen rogue that uses his exoskeleton to look human. That just sounds like a Thrycreen to me.
Once again, a prompt meant for me.
Maybe they didn't know the word Thrycreen.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit of a weird... They use their skin to look human? Like, are they a shifter bug or something? Like, what about... I'm a little confused about that one. If that's someone in the chat, please clarify. Do they just want to look like a person as much as possible? What does their exoskeleton help them in that way? How does their exoskeleton help them in that way? Cicada.
Or is it like cloaking technology exoskeleton?
Yeah.
I did not think was a thing.
Not in anything I know of.
Mm. I'm
Cool
just throwing
idea.
stuff, throwing out stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a pretty human-looking bug lady in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, gross. That was very judgmental of me. I'm sorry for all the bug people out there. Because to me, it seems like if you're a Thrycreen trying to look more human, you would just wear clothes. Instead of just being covered chitinous awful. Someone keeps suggesting, and I feel bad because it never gets drawn. It's been like a few weeks now, that's why I keep noticing it. Someone keeps suggesting a four-armed knoll. And at first I was like, that's weird. And then because it keeps getting suggested, is like, is that a thing? Like, is that a thing that I don't know about? Or is it just, I assume it's the same person now. But to be so adamant about it makes me think that it's maybe not just like a passing fancy. It's either like their real character or it is something, you know?
I don't know. I've not heard anything about it.
Did you not draw that?
I thought I did. Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy? I guess, but like,
She's like Thread Queen are very different from that, right?
yeah, because Mantis is a person with bug antenna. This gets back to visual language, right? So like,
Yep.
the implication that they are using their exoskeleton to look human infers that either A, their exoskeleton is not normal, or B, it is shifted or mutated in some way to look human. Like, so am I just supposed to draw a human? Am I supposed to draw a mutated thing? Because, like, Thrycreans don't have people eyes. So, like, are they shifting their eyes? Like, if they just had a Thrycreen that looks human, right? That would be kind of like what Chorus just posted, the bug lady, right? So it's just a very humanoid bug lady. But the fact that they wanted a Thrycreen with the regular bug exoskeleton is what it sounds like, that looks human, that adds a level of complexity to it that, has some nuance. So it's like that's where that could mean a lot of different things. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Did they just want a humanoid Thrycreen? Like, more humanoid than normal? Did they want someone, wearing an exoskeletal suit? Like a costume? So many questions. Lots and lots of questions. No, that's a bunny. Yeah, that's a formed bunny, which I did draw that. Did you just make a whole new chat? What just happened here?
That is what I was thinking of Atomic Sorcery.
How long do threads last?
They say forever.
That's
as far as I know.
That's bad.
I mean, you should be able to delete that.
Yeah.
Close thread, leave thread. Okay, lock thread. Got it. Okay.
Well, it's Discord. They're not going to allow people, like normal viewers, to do stuff that you as the owner can't undo.
Right. I just like. I don't want to talk about it in YouTube, maybe, but at the same time, like, you could troll the shit out of a Discord server doing that. No offense, Atomic. I think what you did is fine, but being able to actively add tabs to a Discord server, I don't think people should be able to do that. It might be because Atomic just has, like, if you have Patreon, that might be why. I'll have to look at the things, but that's spooky. Sorry, I didn't realize people could do that.
Yeah, one of the Discords I'm in, it's for a mod for a game, and so like there's like you'll have a channel name something, and then you can hover over it and see like a bunch of other like threads that they've added to discuss specific topics within that umbrella thing.
I will have to look into that. I did not know that was a thing that, one, was possible, and two, I'm gonna have to see how that is set up in our server.
So like D&D chat, you could have like have it like a thread, D&D campaign stories or D&D character ideas.
So here's the thing, because like that's basically what we originally started with, right? Like that was how we had the server set up, as different things, and it just got so messy with so many different tabs that no one could see anything. So that's why we consolidated all of them. Which, that's the worry I have, right? It's just like, is this going to allow people in the server to just get back to that messy state? Or does it only show up if you're invited to the thread? How does that work out?
I think if you are like part of like the thread, like how we have the different roles, they will show up.
Interesting. Yeah, we're gonna have to look into that. That's interesting. Didn't realize that was a thing.
But again, like, I feel like it's for like really big server. Like, it's probably a really helpful tool for really big servers because, like,
So
the mod
that
server.
individual conversations can keep track of themselves.
Okay.
Yep.
Are there any
there's,
threads? Do people have threads open in our server right now? Because I don't see any until the one
I don't
that
think so.
just got
You
added
can
to.
search them,
Interesting.
sort of. So if you there's a little spool called threads at the very
Jeez.
top of the chat,
It's a big burp, kid.
and you can click it and search all the threads that are in that particular chat.
Hmm. Interesting. Gotcha. Oh, okay. It goes away when you click out of the tab. Yeah. Okay. I understand. I think you can change permissions to allow it, how long it's been active. Basically, it allows. Let's look things up and break into sub conversations. Okay.
No.
Gotcha. No, yeah, I thought because you sent it to, like, you pinged me in it, so it prompted me. I'm like, if people just start doing that, they're basically going to fill up my. I won't be able to navigate through my own server if it's full of threads. But it looks like they do self collapse. That's the thing I was most worried about.
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was a neat deviation.
Yep.
Now I can get back to.
And-
Today you learned.
Yeah.
And yes, that was the drawing that I was thinking of, Atomic. I definitely knew that you had done a four-armed creature that was not normally four-armed
Yeah.
recently.
That might have been what I was thinking too. So this might not be exactly the right way to do this, but I'm just going to make a mantis boy with a skull mask. Hello, it is I, completely normal human.
Sounds good to me.
Skateboard, eh? So this is going to be a random topic that is related to Pathfinder.
Okay.
I was scrolling through the different, like, subclass stuff in 1E,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like a whole section of things related to like ectoplasm.
Mhm.
I was thinking, I think 2E needs some more ectoplasm-based abilities or feats or items. That'd be kind of cool.
Trying to think of what the ectoplasm was for.
So
So I think it was
Yeah,
related
I
to
know.
like the medium, right? Like it came out with the haunts and the
yeah, so some of them came out with the Occult Avengers.
cult of vengeance, right?
Another one came out in Haunted Heroes Handbook.
Okay. They haven't released any of that stuff for 2E yet, have they? Like they have the Hero
No.
deck, but I don't think they've released any of the occult stuff.
They have a whole bunch. They have a huge list of haunts, but they're really treated more like magical traps.
Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially what haunts are.
Probably the closest thing to that stuff would be the Dark Archive, which I have.
Okay.
And it's like, has a lot of things like, there's a template for making a cryptid.
Nice.
There's even a couple of like Avengers in the book. But yeah, I saw like there was a ectoplasm master alchemist. And I was like,
Yeah.
that'd be kind of cool.
I sat down and tried to make Finny again. The
Yeah.
P2 Alchemist is just so bad. Like, it's not bad. It's not a bad class. It's just hard to build. Like it's just so complicated.
Yeah.
You get
Kinda
access
has,
to
like-
every spell except for these, and maybe some of these. Have some of these. Every level, pick one of these. It's like, oh my god.
Yep. It's kind of the issue with clerics and druids, where like they have access to their full spell list.
I love that about them though.
I mean, same. It's just I don't know if I would like that for an alchemist because I feel like there's more items than spells.
Yeah. That's fair.
It gets a bit overwhelming.
The part of the problem is like, yeah, it's mainly the spell list problem, right? Like because they have different types of spells, there's not. I don't think they have quite a good way to organize all of it and track it.
Yeah.
But then when you add the formulae as well as how do I say this? It used to be when you played something like The Alchemist, they would say things like, you know, X amount of formulas. They were essentially spell slots. They're like, you know, this many level 3 spells, level 2 spells, level 1 spells, cantrips. Like, great. Now it's just like, pick a whole bunch of level 2 or lower spells. And it's like, where do I see that? Where do I find those formulas? It's like, you get all of the common formulas from this book. And it's like, okay.
Yep.
Do I need to track 40 different formulas now? Because I have to remember that I remember them? Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
it's very strange.
And even then, they're not even really spells because you're just getting items to craft.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like you're getting like spell equivalent items that'll be a bit different and more manageable, but like it's just you're getting all the items that's in
Exactly.
our
like,
case Foundry.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and it's no longer like when you take the feat, you can now craft magical items up to level X. It's just learn 2 more spells, and it's like that sucks. like I think really you should be able to craft things up to a certain level or a gold cost, and then let your DM decide when you can learn or how to learn them. I don't know why they did it that way. I really don't. It's very confusing. But
I
like,
didn't have quite the same problem with the inventor. Like, it does have the same problem, but it's not as bad for the inventor because I think the inventor is more of a combat focused class.
the other thing,
So
which,
it's got other stuff it can do.
yeah, I think if I went strict bomber, it would be much more simpler because there's only a handful of bombs. But
Yeah.
like with the surgeon thing or however we can call it, surgeon spelled
The
with a
healer.
CH. Yeah. There are different levels of alchemy things. So like at first level, you can learn like a lesser potion of life as well as like the lesser antidote, and then at level 3 or 5, there's an upgraded version of it. It's like, wait, do I have to take that now too? Do I have to spend my levels to have that spell and the old shitty spell? Like, why would I do that? Because if you're doing them as daily preparations, they don't have a cost. But then if I'm trying to make them as a formula, they would. So it's like, I feel like the knowledge of things that you can use for your daily preparations needs to be separated from what can just be crafted in the game. Like, I feel like the crafting system is the thing that's making it really confusing and kind of hampering it.
Because the alchemist, and by extent, like the inventor, are like heavily tied to a really bad crafting system. They have
Exactly.
to
Yeah,
be.
that's really, I think,
Yeah.
the problem that is kind of tripping it up. Just like Finny with the different potions is fun. It's a fun character to play. But tracking it and trying to understand what I'm doing for crafting is just hot garbage. I'm going to say hot garbage. They did add a feat that basically we were talking about it and I was playing with it, basically saying that like if you just take everything that says days to craft and turn that into hours, the crafting system makes way more sense. And there's a feat that does that now. It's a really high level feat that lets you craft things in hours instead of days, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You'd probably have to be like a master crafter.
Totally normal human man. Normal man.
He means Norman.
The best DC character.
PC character.
I was just making a joke because Normal Man would be a Batman villain.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right, watch me pay my taxes.
Really? How are you feeling, Rook? How many more you think you got in?
It's 2:00. I think we should probably call it. We've kind of lost
Okay.
the plot, and the people have left the chat. So there's still a few people in here, but oh no, that was an angry baby. So should probably go deal with that. I've made a strange bunny monster, is what I've made.
Yep.
So I think we'll probably call it there for the day.
Yeah.
Next week
This cowboy hat is does not make sense, but it's fine. It's on a different plane than the head.
That's all right. I've seen people wear it like that. The one is real Spider-Man, but he is basically Spider's equivalent of Sandman. Normal Man?
Spiders, man.
Oh, Spider-Man.
Wisdom of the day.
Don't piss off the Helldiver community. They will tank and spank you into oblivion, Sony. No, we were talking about something earlier that I thought was pretty good. What was that?
I don't remember. My brain's giving up.
Don't be an asshole. And non-funny jokes aren't funny. Call people out on it. That's the end of the day.
Yeah.
If they're your best friends and they make a bad joke, just tell them. Be like, yeah, that wasn't funny, man. Stand up for stuff when you can. It doesn't have to be a big deal. But you should do it, and that makes it a big deal. Okay, that's all I got. Thanks for hanging out today, everybody. Thanks for giving me Wednesday off. Next week we should be back to normal. I'm going to try to work on... I have 2 commissions I have to work on. Oh, I only have 1 commission now. Hell yeah. I have some backed up ones. But I have 1 commission I'm working on, and then next week I think we're going to try to get another video out, as well as we have more stuff from Sagas. So that'll be some fun draws. Yeah. So just hang tight for those. We'll try to get some more shorts out, and that's it. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table. We'll catch y'all next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.